Nobody should be begging Nigerian government for my release because I committed no crime. Nnamdi Kanu. Welcome back to Biafra News. Support Biafra. People of goodwill, Ada Biafra here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Depending on where you're watching me from, Biafrans, I bring you another update. And this very update is coming from Sarah Reporters. And the news headline says nobody should be begging Nigerian government for my release because I committed no crime. Nnamdi Kanu, leader of indigenous people of Biafra, that was kidnapped in Kenya since 2021 by Nigeria terrorist state, tortured for 8 days before he was illegally renditioned back to Nigeria. And since then, he has been in DSS dungeon. Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime. His only crime is asking for Biafra, for his people to be free from that backward entity called Nigeria, British biggest business empire in Africa and their biggest zoo in Africa. So Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, even while traveling with a British passport by Nigeria terrorist state. Nigeria broke international law. Even Supreme Court said it, that Nigeria kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. So why are they insisting on trying him, like Amadike said? Well, before I continue with this very update, I would like to welcome all the new and old subscribers. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, please kindly click the red subscribe button, turn on the notification bell right beside it to enable you get notification once I upload a new video. Don't forget to share, tune in once you get notification. So this news headline says nobody should be begging Nigerian government for my release because I committed no crime. This was stated in a release issued by the head of his legal team, lawyer Jimako, stating that Kanu's release is not a matter of mercy or pardon, but rather a matter of upholding the rule of law. The detained leader of indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has clarified that he did not send anybody to be begging the Nigerian government for his release. This was a state because he committed no crime, of course. You do not. That is why those fools they are not being listened to. You keep begging instead of you people to ask, what is Nnamdi Kanu's crime? Zoo terrorists don't even know what to charge Nnamdi Kanu. Before they said it's a treasonable felony and they shifted it to terrorism. What terrorism did he commit? You see, Southeast flavor said, "Oh, we are begging Nigeria, we are begging Tinubu to release him as Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, we went to Abuja. You're begging over what? He was kidnapped while traveling with a British passport in Kenya by Nigeria terrorist state. Nigeria government broke international law, and you people are begging for his release instead of those fools to stand with their food and make sure that we then speak instead of them to stand like men." Or summon the courage and ask Zoo Fulani Caliphate why they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu and why they refused to release him, even when Court of Appeal discharged and acquitted him. Supreme Court confirmed that he was kidnapped by Nigeria terrorist state in Kenya. Well, we must continue. This was stated in a release issued by the head of his legal team, lawyer Jimako. Some of you don't really know what is going on. Recall that Benjamin Kanu, the deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, recently appealed to the president. Appealed to President Bola Tinubu to tamper justice with mercy and give freedom to the leader of indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, from detention. Tamper what justice with mercy? What is Ohamadike's crime? Since you people cannot speak for your own people, those fools are just there begging up and down. They can't speak for their own people and be man enough, summon the courage and speak for their people without fear. Tamper justice with mercy for what exactly? Over a man fighting for his people's freedom. Over a man that said enough is enough. I can no longer stand and watch my people being killed or my people killed and terrorized in their own land. Tamper justice with mercy with him over a man that formed the security outfits to put a stop to the raping of our old mothers and butchering of our people in the farm. What crime did he commit? Why are those fools begging? You're begging your president, Bola Tinubu, to tamper justice with mercy. Nnamdi Kanu have no case to answer. And Nigeria government broke international law. I don't know when these fools who have science and have the courage to speak without fear for once. We must continue. Kanu had made the appeal after the After the inaugural meeting of the House of Representatives Committee on Southeast Development Commission (SEDC) at the National Assembly Complex in Abuja, the Deputy Speaker had commended the President for his support and commitment towards development and stability of the Southeastern region. These people. See why we gave them vote of no confidence? They don't represent us. They don't have our interest at heart. They don't care about their people. All they're after is one position or the other and how to please the Fulanese. And they sell their people out, betray their own people, sabotage their own people. That is all they're after. Nnamdi Kanu fighting for Biafra. That is what our internal leader did. And some of them, their fathers betrayed him. Now they have started where their fathers stopped. But will that stop what Chukwu Kikabema is in charge of? The answer is no. Like Amadike said, no man will claim the glory of restoring Biafra. No country will claim the glory of restoring Biafra. And the Chukwu Kikabema will do it when the time comes. And Chukwu Kikabema also told him that it's going to be very difficult and at the end Biafra will come. Let them keep deceiving themselves. So we must continue. He noted that the president, since assuming office, had in various ways proven his love for the Southeasterners through his speed ascent to the Southeast Development Commission bill, which failed in previous assemblies. However, Kanu's legal team clarified that the Federal High Court already declared his detention as unconstitutional, and that international tribunal decision had also deemed his detention as unlawful. Therefore, Kanu's release should be a straightforward matter of complying with the law. The IPOB leader also stressed that he had committed no crime and that his detention was a result of the Nigerian government's attempt to criminalize his right to self-determination. Exactly. They don't want you to talk about Biafra. Once you talk about Biafra, you become a threat. You become a threat to the country. That is what they always say. Oh, you are a threat to the country for speaking the truth, for fighting for your freedom and your right. They don't just want the people to know their right. Talk more of fighting for it. Well, we must continue. Zoo is a failed state and a terrorist state. His lawyer wrote, during my visitation with Nnamdi Kanu yesterday, he made it abundantly clear that while he is deeply appreciative of the effort and the widespread calls being made by well-meaning individuals and groups to secure his release, he, however, instructed his legal team to issue the following clarifications. 1. The matter of releasing Nnamdi Kanu is not an act of mercy, pardon, executive clemency, or even amnesty. Instead, it should be an act of simply complying with the subsisting Federal High Court judgment that declared his detention as unconstitutional, or even the extant international tribunal decision that separately declared his detention as unlawful. Alternatively, the decision to free him from detention and discontinue his infamous prosecution can be made by simply resorting to the constitutional provisions that empower the Attorney General of the Federation on the directives of the President to discontinue any prosecution. 2. Nnamdi Kanu is adamant that nobody should plead or beg anybody on his behalf because he has committed no crime. Self-determination, which is the real issue that got twisted to suddenly become a high crime, is an inalienable right guaranteed under the law of Nigeria, the United Nations, the United Kingdom, and Kenya. Thus, the perverse and unlawful criminalization of his exercise of this right should not unwittingly be encouraged through some misguided appeals for pardon, clemency, or mercy. Thus, releasing Nnamdi Kanu is not an act of mercy or pardon, but an act of abiding by the rule of law for those fools looking for one position or the other, ranting, deceiving themselves. coming out and say, he's trying to release Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, Mr. President or President Tinubu, please release Nnamdi Kanu. Tampa justice will make taboga. I target, kokesha tango. Tampa, you're begging for a man. Tampa justice with Messi over a man fighting for his right. That you people are using America to, seek for one position or the other. Saboteurs everywhere. We not call you people mad people everywhere. We must continue. They will call for his release and still go at the back and be sabotaging the same release they are calling for publicly. Inasmuch we must continue, inasmuch as those calling for his release are sincere, their calls for pardon or clemency may be misconstrued as a green light to the executive branch or even the court to violate the rule of law by continuing to subject Nnamdi Kanu to a prosecution or trial that does not comport with the tenets of the constitution and Nigeria's treaty obligations. Exactly. Those of you begging, of course, some of you want Nnamdi to be out, but we do not need to beg because Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime. The more we beg, the more they think they have the right to hold him. The more they think, then the more Zutaris think they have the right to continue to detain him. Of course, they do not have that right. Nigeria government broke international law. And those of you using Nnamdi's release to seek for a position, we must continue, dear friends. For instead of begging, those desiring his release should emulate the language that acts by Afani Ferry or Ohaneze, where Igbo Congress, ranking members of the National Assembly, American military, veterans of Igbo descent, ambassadors for self-determination based in America, the international community, and a host of others who have made it clear that Nnamdi Kanu deserves to be released because he has committed no offense known to law. If truth be told, it is Nigeria executive branch which extraordinarily renditioned Nnamdi Kanu that should show contrition for resulting to extraordinary rendition, which is a state crime under international law and the common law. If any begging must be done, it should be directed to the court to conduct his case and that of IPOB with utmost impartiality and adherence to rule of law, equity, and good conscience. 5. Most importantly, Onyendum Nnamdi Kanu sincerely thanks everyone working assiduously towards the restoration of security, tranquility, and good order in his beloved Igbo land. Okay, that is it, dear friends. Coming from Nnamdi Kanu Council, Nnamdi Kanu also telling those two-faced saboteurs using his release to seek for a position to stop because he committed no crime. If you want a position, if you want any particular position or any particular appointment, go direct. Stop saying, Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to be released, and you still go at the back and be sabotaging his release. Me who are born, those of you that wants to remain relevant with the release of Nnamdi Kanu, begging Tinubu up and down. Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime. He has made it clear that he do not want anyone or send anyone to be begging for his release, or send anyone to beg on his behalf because he committed no crime. You heard the names mentioned that have asked for his release or that has told Nigeria terrorist state to release him. So you people should stop running up and down begging for a man that committed no crime. His only crime is asking for his people's freedom. And freedom is every human's fundamental right. Self-determination is not a crime. A call for self-determination is not a call for war, or is not a crime. So that is it, dear friends. I'll stop here. Don't forget to share, like, leave your comment at the comment section.